Hey, everybody, welcome. Peace, love, and freedom. Yes, welcome to the show. I am David Sponheim at americasthirdparty.com, and we're here to try to revolutionize politics as we know it. We do this every night. This is our 8th year of broadcasting. Actually, 9th year we're heading into. India loves me. Pakistan loves me. Maybe I can get India and Pakistan to remain calm, working together to try to help each other mutually become prosperous. But we've got to be prosperous too. Our country has to start getting ahead. And what we found out from the new health care bill was we're not going to be able to put together a health care bill, ramrod it through Congress, just because somebody thinks they got a great idea. And Trump's bill would have only saved about $300 billion over a 10-year period. That wasn't enough. Now, the GOP healthcare bill, House Republicans leaders have abruptly pulled their rewrite of the nation's healthcare law off the table because Trump threatened them. Seriously. Trump is at odds with everybody. He's at odds with the media that claims that he made up the story about wiretapping. Whether he was wiretapped or not is irrelevant. I mean, he was talking to the Russians prior to the election. That's a violation of the Logan Act. So his healthcare bill is dead on arrival. He failed there. 60 Minutes is doing a roundtable panel talk about how bad this is. They said it's the worst 100 days we've ever seen. A panel destroys his health care. After his health care bill drops, they destroy the memory of this man, who probably should resign because he's screwing up left and right.
You were sitting.
I said all along that it would be a failure for him to try to repeal Obamacare. I've been saying that for years. Definitely before the election, and I was right, and here they are. We're not going to be able to repeal Obamacare, and I'll tell you how we're going to fix it in just a second.
There, you've worked for a number of presidents on both sides of the aisle. What did you make of President Trump's response?
It was delusional in some ways. I mean, I thought, why didn't Paul Ryan manned up, took responsibility. This is a man who just shoves it off on other people and describe things in ways that are, that are just misleading. I'm sure he'll get better at this, and I think also fair to say that a lot of presidents have stumbled. A lot of presidents had trouble in their first 100 days.
Bill Clinton had trouble in his first 100 days.
Bill Clinton had trouble. Jack Kennedy had his bad pick.
David Gergen is kind of like the voice box for the Illuminati and the New World Order. He's a regular at the Bohemian Grove, so I don't really think we should look to him for guidance at this point, but whatever. I'm glad that the CNN is not happy with Trump because he's been very rude to CNN. Now, CNN, as you know, along with Fox, has censored me for the past 8 years, refused to do my story. Yeah. And I'm not going to stand here and go applaud CNN for, saying what I've been saying for 6 months or longer. But he's an Ashkenazi. Oh, they all are. Everybody in Trump's close personal proximity are Ashkenazis. Well, yeah, Rockefeller did die, but he's got many to replace him. We've got a systemic state of corruption in our country, and it's not going to get any better. We've got a terrible environmental crisis that Trump doesn't even acknowledge exists, okay? Got some potatoes here I'm going to show you in just a second. I was talking to everybody in the pre-show about how when I make it to the Oval Office, we're going to have a buffet in the Oval Office. Not in the Oval Office, but in the White House. Yeah, I could actually put it on the window outside the Oval Office, and you could visit me in through the window. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Build a large buffet outside the Oval Office. Well, all I can tell you is we need to make a profit back for the government, and I'm going to speak louder now. What we need to do is create a money stream for our government at every single turn so that we no longer have to charge you taxes. Why would I target the Ashkenazis? I'm not. I'm just saying a fact. They have populated Trump's enterprise. Now, today we found out that Donald Trump is he's going to continue to get financial reports on the Trump organization from his sons. CNBC is announcing this. Now remember, that's illegal, And he's still violating the law by not putting his personal assets in a public trust. Remember when Donald Trump Jr. said that in no way would that be a problem? They would be always separate, and he lied about that. Just like his dad. He's lying. Yeah. And that was the chat we have in the background. Pretty cool, huh? If you happen to agree with this president for any reason in particular, it's because he stole my ideas. Yeah, and I would acknowledge that we definitely need a border fence. My fence will be invisible. Nothing speaks of freedom more than a fence. And nothing speaks to freedom more than an invisible fence. Yeah, so we're going to be putting together an invisible fence where not even jellyfish can get through it. Yeah, we've got a whole ring of jellyfish here. Even jellyfish are flying out of the ocean because of the Fukushima waste is getting so bad. So they've taken to the air. Isn't that a cool picture? But no, we won't be able to. When jellyfish fly, that's when things will really, really get weird. We will be able to build an invisible fence. I talked about this. It made it of an active denial system, which is a microwave going from microwave to microwave. And nobody will be hurt because it'll just be too damn hot to go through the fence. It gets hotter and hotter the closer you get. Well, we already have an invisible army. Yes. It's called the CIA, so. My ideas are liked by most Americans. I haven't had any coverage in America. I'm worldwide, man. People know me all around the world, but my ideas get no coverage here because I've been censored. Start there, guest 888. Trump used my ideas to get elected. He hasn't implemented them. Now, I said that I've got a solution to the Obamacare crisis. We need to prosecute Barack Obama for fraud. We found out recently. We found out recently that Donald Trump will not even prosecute Barack Obama. He thinks that Obama is now born in Honolulu. He completely reversed his position. Big mistake, Donald. You had an option to do the right thing and pursue a fraud case against Barack Obama, which would automatically rescind Obamacare. Welcome, Burmese. Thank you. Trump he cherry-picked my ideas, and those are the only ideas that people liked. Okay, the mobile medical units, the safe zones, the 1,000-mile fence. He cherry-picked my ideas. And he had nothing else. He had a hatred toward Muslims that the courts are saying it's completely illegal for him to single out Muslims in a travel ban. Virginia, however, is acknowledging it, so a lot of flights routed through Virginia will have immigrants banned. So if you're flying into Virginia, you may want to think about landing in one of the big, huge hubs there. You may want to double think your plans if you're an immigrant. Reroute to New York or Logan or something. Maybe even Ronald Reagan. Now, this person, 591, says, David, I call into C-SPAN shows all the time to mention ATP and they hang up. Yep, exactly. You're looking at a solid plan by the mainstream media to shut me out. And it's not going to work. We're going to give people a buffet at the White House, okay? We appeal to the American people. Donald Trump is a hoi polloi, like one of these hidey-tidy type of silver spoon people that want to have it their own way. They're not reasonable. He's not reasonable. He's not, and the way he puts out ultimatums, nobody likes that guy. Well, I like Virginia too, and I'm amazed that they went ahead and honored the ban against the courts. It'll be still adjudicated in the federal court and they'll be ruled illegal, but it doesn't matter. I'm saying that in advance so you know that I'm predicting the future. We're always on air, yes. Thank you, Blue Raven. Thank you for doing all your work too. As a radio personality, you guys have been spreading the word, trying to raise awareness. Now, Meow TV said Poland wanted to expel all Muslims because of the way they use their belief system is slavery and not constitutional. It's true. If anybody tries to prosecute a person for committing Sharia law, they better get their ducks in line, because if they don't, they're going to have a problem. I mean, There's a state, check this out, there's a state in, Texas is one of those amazingly weird states. It's got Democrats in Texas. And they've somehow managed to make a high school put in a prayer room for Muslims, because Muslims pray 9 times a day. Yet this is the same school district that disallowed Christian prayer many years ago. I mean, they need guidance. Our country definitely should have an anti-jihadism position, and our political views should be very much concerned about Islamic radicalism. But taking it to the nth degree like Donald did, by saying that Muslims are to be singled out, is an absolute abridgment of our Constitution. It goes against the very foundation that our Constitution was created for, to protect people's freedom of religion and freedom of speech. So, and the fact that this Gorsuch, who's up for nomination, Charles Schumer is against him. I think Gorsuch should not be nominated because he is too conservative. He actually started a club in college called Fascism Forever. So that's a serious problem. Yeah, so Chuck Schumer's gone against Gorsuch's nomination. I think that's good. I think they need somebody who's better, not somebody who sucks. Yeah. I don't really like Schumer myself, but I think he's a good hardcore verbal fighter. I like that quality about him. He doesn't shy away from a fight. When Trump claimed that he'd been meeting with Vladimir Putin, Schumer said, "Yeah, I've got videotape of it. It was a public event. Nothing was private with our meeting, unlike you, Donald, who meet secretly with your good friend Vlade." We're not taking in any way political Islam and religion for granted. I mean, the fact is they're fused at the hip and they have to be dealt with. But we have to have laws, and we do have laws, that all they have to do is stop people from having multiple wives, okay? If a mullah moves into Dearborn, Michigan and has 4 wives, right now he can collect 4 separate welfare checks. That's not going to happen under my watch. Donald Trump, stop this, okay? Just stop this, because you haven't stopped it. You know the UN resettlement program? Donald hasn't even stopped that. They're still bringing people into Missouri. We had one testimony the other day that showed that the UN resettlement program is going full forward. They're handing out Social Security numbers and envelopes full of money to anybody who comes into the country through the UN resettlement program. Even coming into our area, I've seen a number of people. We're considered, in Washington, we're considered a sanctuary state. Yeah, sucks. I don't even know the people. I mean, the people at my laundromat now are all from Portugal, and they don't speak English. It's weird. Yeah. I don't like Schumer, but I respect a guy who stands up for himself. Okay, let's just look at it that way. Yeah. Look at it that way. So when Trump stands up for himself, it's hollow, though. He doesn't really, he doesn't want to negotiate. He doesn't want to, it's my way or the highway with Trump. He doesn't want to stand up and say, hey, well, what do you think? Let's talk about it. That's exactly the problem with Barack Obama. He didn't want to do that. He was inflexible.
Stop it, stop it. And I say, stop it, stop it, stop it. And I'll say it right to the camera, stop it, stop it, stop, stop, stop. And I say, stop, and I say, stop it, stop, 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 stop it. I will say this, and I'll say it right to the camera, stop it. Right to the camera, stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop, stop, stop it, stop.
Stop it. When he turned into a demon, that's when I stopped it. No, you Holocaust deniers are wasting your time. We all know that millions of people died during the Holocaust. Don't be an anti-Semite. Stop it, okay? You try to team up with Putin. You sound like, is Donald Trump in here? Donald, hi, welcome to the show. You're going to team up with Putin and take over China? Wow. Look, I would acknowledge that people died throughout the entire World War II period. I don't need a cigarette to sound like Rod Serling. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of both sight and sound. of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the wondrous dimension of the imagination. You know, he died from a heart attack from smoking too much. Why is the ISS shaking and the camera not? Oh, at 3 minutes and 59 seconds, the International Space Station is shaking, but the camera isn't. Is it possible the camera is in the fixed plane of the Earth, and the space station is an underwater facsimile that they pretend?
Camera views that are in front of them.
Let's take a look.
Those camera views are their view, right? So
Look
that's
at that.
what you see, and you can see that it's a very limited time that they actually.
Camera stationary, but the station. Look at the International Space Station is shaking.
They're not just looking.
Look at that
the
fakery.
Earth.
Nobody was watching during the faking of the International Space Station. They do this underwater, and it's a wonderful fake event when they pretend to be walking in space. It's really amazing. Yeah, welcome to Freedom Friday, everybody. Hey, welcome, come on in. Or you could leave now, either way. Remove their globalist and give freedom back to their people. Yes. It's a far, far greater thing that they do. Oh, I don't have any passwords here. I wouldn't do passwords with, my glasses on. You're traveling through a wondrous land of both that of the imagination and that of someone's passwords. You're a hacker, and you're about to enter the Twilight Zone. You know, the Vault 7 was just introduced.
Up to 3 UFOs shot past the International Space Station while 2 astronauts worked on the outside of the base.
I don't
This
believe
footage
this.
taken.
See, I think they're pushing an alien agenda, too, where they've got this fake picture of the ISS, and they've got this belief that, oh, well, since we're here and we got all these people believing we're in an International Space Station, why don't we put some aliens in there, and then they'll believe in aliens. And then they'll think aliens took the children from D.C. instead of the Podestas. Or whoever else anyone alleges takes children, you know? I think Podesta's dirty, and I think we need to investigate him. I think Pizzagate's got to be an open book. When we get done, we're going to find out who is behind the most corrupt, underhanded, psycho world of human trafficking. Let's just put it that way. Excuse me, Sir, you are calling the wrong man. Some sort of a hippie. You have the audacity to say that I'm a hippie? Who the hell do you think you are? Calling me a hippie? I might as well call you a jellyfish. A flying jellyfish. This is not a new camera, this is an old camera. Thank you. I can't help it, but the truth of the matter is we're on a remote location, broadcasting from the secrecy of our secret location. McGregor, you're boring me. You know, I told you Trump handpicked, cherry-picked my best ideas, and then he can't even implement them. I would have put together the plan to prosecute Barack Obama, which I had in place, move toward removing Obamacare, which wouldn't have required Congress's signature, and then I would have put together the mobile medical unit plan, which would have automatically lowered the cost of Medicaid, which is our primary focus. Thank you, Highland. Mobile medical units were and are our best idea yet, and Donald Trump took the idea and he never bothered to talk about them after that. So that's a big, huge step in the right direction. We want more public doctors, and we want a better way of getting people immediate health care other than ER right now, because ER is sucking us dry. I bet Trump will call in saying, David, I'm sorry that I took your ideas, but I'm running into some problems. I need your help. Please help me, David. We didn't do our kitchen thing last week. Yep. We did not do our kitchen thing. The reason is we're testing out our equipment. We're on a little mini vacation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I never had sex with myself, ever. I would never do that. Some of you have done that. I would never do that. Good band. I leave my house all the time. I'm out on location right now. I'd show you where I am if I want to violate my security. But I'm not going to do that. I'm here now. We are America, and we need to stand up for what is right. And what is right is prosecuting Barack Obama for fraud, removing Obamacare that way. Donald, if you're listening, I think you'll be very, very happy to know that I have solutions for your failing campaign as president. We're working on all kinds of new fronts, so just call me up, Donald, and we'll help you get on the right track. We might even salvage your presidency. I'll give you that much. I care about the country. I'm not some radical hippie that, is just trying to push my agenda of liberalism. I'm a centrist. I'm a fiscal conservative, like the very people that canceled your ticket today. I applaud Paul Ryan and the rest of the Republicans that are, the Tea Party's standing up to this guy, and thank God for that. No, Pizzagate will be at the, from 12 to 2 in the morning. We have actually from 11 to 2 in the morning, we have 3 more hours of Titus Frost's deep, in-depth, documentary-style investigation into Pizzagate. So it runs from about 11 to 2. There's about 2.5 hours I have to finish up with. That's me. Hey, welcome to the land of, this is my country. This is our land. This is your land. This is the land of peace and tranquility. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to test out my equipment, so we hit the road. Sometimes jellyfish fly, and we flew out the road, hit the highway, and here we are in undisclosed location somewhere in the U.S. Somebody asked earlier, can you show me pictures of chemtrails? Yes, geoengineeringwatch.org has all the pictures you'd ever want to go. So just type in geoengineeringwatch.org and you will be ready to go. Yeah. Look, at anybody who understands America understands that we are not going to sit back and watch some bombastic greedmonger tell us we need to spend more money on health care to fix health care, which is essentially what Donald Trump was trying to say. And Paul Ryan spit it out like any good person would. You bet. Hallelujah. I'm just glad he made that move. I think personally Donald Trump will resign. This is my prediction. And Pence will resign because Pence is connected to the Russian scandal. All of his cabinet will resign. We'll get rid of all the billionaire swamp members. And guess who's going to be our president? Paul Ryan. I know that may come as a shocker to you, but I see this happening. We got a hot mic here, so we pick up, because I'm staying in a shelter, I didn't want to say that, but because I'm staying in a shelter, there are some people that are, they have some respiratory problems here. I know. I wanted to feel what it's like to live in a tent city and do a show, a remote broadcast. Yes, we know. Tory Smith said that Pence was involved in that. Yep. I'm kidding about being in a shelter. That's why my Wi-Fi is bad. Look, shelters don't provide good Wi-Fi. Trump is the last chance for globalists to stay alive. That's pretty funny. You're right about that. We know the entire system is a corrupt cesspool in dire need of purging, Melco. But you're not going to make it happen with a guy who sucks up to the entire system like Donald Trump. Paul Ryan he's a Mason. He's a Zionist. I mean, he's going to suck up too, but at least he doesn't come off flying off at 3:30 in the morning tweeting something. Paul Ryan is a very measured and calculated politician, and he kind of runs gun shy. I kind of like that compared to Trump. It's better than a person who is bombastic and forces his will on everybody. Yeah. I'm on a laptop right now, it's true. Look, I wanted to see if I could broadcast from a shelter in one of the tent cities in America, and I think it's working. Nobody's really noticed me here. I don't think Trump is going to be painting anything at all. I mean, he seems to be failing. Oh, well, Milko, I have plans. First of all, I'm unlike every other politician out there. I was not in any way at a Starbucks, Highland Media. Thanks for saying that. With Paul Ryan, I was not there. We have to start somewhere, and if we don't start at the top, and we don't get rid of, like, take the snake down, the snake has to come down. We need an honest politician who can actually open the dialogue and not have it my way or the highway. I'm willing to make compromises anytime I can, whenever people, obviously are looking for some major change. Trump isn't. No, I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. Trump isn't. He's not willing to make any concessions. And now, after being forced into a concession with the Republicans pulling the bill, which I'm glad they did, my parents are dead. If I lived with my parents, I'd be underground in a coffin. And that's kind of kinky and bizarre and weird. Thank you. I have read The Gulag Archipelago by Solzhenitsyn. And many of you should read The Gulag Archipelago by Solzhenitsyn. Alexander Solzhenitsyn was one of the many outspoken activists in Russia during the most horrible times, when Brezhnev would incarcerate anybody in a gulag for speaking against their official line. No different than Egypt right now, with General Sisi becoming President Sisi. No one says anything right now. And by the way, Mubarak was just released from jail. He's finally free after 8 years of being falsely accused in Egypt of killing 218 people and planning. He was charged with corruption. Dr. Meow may have a point. Trump is going to whine up like a little bitch about his health care plan for the next 4 years and take revenge on every GOP who refused to sign. You're right. That's the kind of guy Trump is. He's going to stall this whole solution to our healthcare crisis. And Trump is not mentioning the mobile medical unit now that he's in power. He doesn't want to do it because it's too difficult to implement. I am I guess it's a communal living situation. They said I could stay here, for as long as I needed to, so they were very kind. I'm just trying to feel what it's like to live in a tent city or in a low-end motel, one or the other. You know that the lowest priced motels in America are like $59 a night? Do you know how many days you can stay in a motel for $59 a night with a small, say you're getting welfare like Ed. Ed's still alive, He's got stage 4 lung cancer and he's hanging in there, but he could only stay in a motel like 3 or 4 nights a month at a motel of any kind, like a Motel 6. Well, y'all don't understand. It takes time. No, I recognize that the mobile medical units will be difficult to implement, but I have a strategy to build them in 2 key locations in the U.S. And they're already set to do this. Kenworth Trucking and Patrick Metal. Patrick Metal needs a very important job. There's a lot of buildings that need to be occupied. We could easily build mobile medical units at Patrick Metal in South Bend, Indiana. They used to make RVs all the time over there. Well, I don't want to get too personal. Let me just say I went on the road, and I'll tell you about it later, okay? You'll know all about where I've been the past couple days. In a day, I'll tell you. I'm doing a little research. We're just doing a little show, from our Wi-Fi hotspot. I'm sure you rented a room at the Trailer Park in Las Cruces for $8. There is a room. You don't have to rent a room. You get a trailer spot in Deming, New Mexico for about $200 a month. And we tried to get Ed into a trailer park, but we couldn't find him a trailer. All I could find was a $500 van. I don't go to the ER because if I were to go to the ER, they'd take my house. Yeah, you got to sign your house over whenever you go to a doctor in this day and age. I am on a personal journey of discovery. Yes, I have discovered that people are all the same no matter where you go. Yeah, and no matter what color they are. Da 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 da. Oh, that's a Star Wars background. Yep. Yeah, they are. They are all the same. People, come on, people now. Cry on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now.
Right now.
Come on, people now. Bring back the 60s, everybody. Tomorrow is our anti-war rally, so we're going to be kind of focusing on stopping this war in Syria that Trump wants to start. I don't know, Trump, Dupster wants to set up an ATP barbecue. I want a kind of a low-key thing where he and I meet and we look at the bike and, it's not like a big party. Oh, Sarah's coming in.
Yeah, David's going to take a little break.
I am, thank you. She is. Oops.
Walk around, maybe a little exercise or whatever.
Yes, I need to exercise my demons.
All right. There you go. I bet that feels good.
Oh, that feels great. Lay down.
Oh, in New Mexico? How was it? You ate it? Did you, make sure it wasn't venomous or something? And if so, how did you do that? Hello, NYPD1. Oh, it's very good, and you fried it up? Hey, David Nation. I'm fantastic. How you doing? I have a deep voice, maybe on this microphone. Maybe I do have a deep voice. I never really thought about it before. Yeah, the VHS waves, yes. Are you an ant or a grasshopper? I will tomorrow, 160. Hi, Mystify Me. How are you? So you cut off the head, you skin it, you bone it. Wow. Pretty much 381. Just because he likes somebody else is not a reason to ban him, in my opinion. Something like that, 591. Oh, really, David Nation? Yes. If it's invading, you have to. So many of them survive everything, so don't worry, David Nation. Somebody was saying they ate a red rattlesnake. That's what the conversation I was following, NYPD1. Oh, the Never Trump people have established that we no longer honor our electoral process. How's the next president going to be selected? Well,
he doesn't honor our judicial process. Why would we honor our electoral process?
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's corrupted.
I was gonna say let's start by making sure that the same laws apply to everyone. Like, if you want to get on the ballot in this state, if you need so much money or so many signatures, that everyone who wants to get on the ballot needs that, and not change it for different parties. Yes, you did hear David moaning and saying how great he felt just to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Meow, I say that sometimes. Such a good feeling. All right. Yeah, it's nice to kick up the relaxer and kick back and relax. I don't want you to know where I'm at, 160.
Yeah.
That's why. I should want to meet you and all that, but no, I really don't. Well, Frankenstein, I believe states do have rights to set their own laws. However, I also believe in equal protection under the law, and having it that if you're wanting to be president, you have different laws for that office. That's not equal protection. Exactly, Melko. Exactly. No, 191, I don't do any of that. I'll never do any of that. Unless the doctor tells me I have to, or I'll die or something. It's totally not necessary. Aw, thanks, Ab. Fun.